Alright, so this private tarot reading is for Garrett, and we are going to be reading on Luc Jolet de Roche, I think is how you pronounce his name. And I want to thank you again for reaching out to me. This was an interesting case, and I wanted to get going on it a little earlier than normal. I don't know, something about this particular young man that just kind of tugs at your heartstrings, I think. His age, mainly. I have to say, immediately I'm a little bit confused as to, I don't know the legal age of going into a bar in North Bay, so I'm not sure if, maybe it's a little bit younger. I know here you can't get into a bar unless you're 21, so that kind of struck out at me, so I'm assuming that the laws are a little bit different and maybe the age is a little bit lower for you to be able to get into a bar. Secondly, I'm concerned that when he was denied entrance into that bar, why his friends continued to go in and just kind of left him to fend for himself. There was no sense of, okay, well, he can't come in, so we're all going to leave kind of thing at all. And immediately it reminded me of the Kanika Jenkins story. So that kind of just, or was it the Kanika Jenkins? There was another, maybe it wasn't that one, but there was another story where they all kind of just like left her, and that's when everything went awry. I think that was her case. So, all right, I've got a couple of different decks, and I have a new deck here called the Beauty Horror, and for some reason I was drawn to this deck for this reading, and I did ask if this was a good deck for him. I have reached out and asked Luke to come forward and tell his story on what happened that night, and I asked if this was a good deck to start with, and I got the Ace of Cups upright, so I took that as a yes. And I'm going to start just kind of starting out with what he wants to say coming out. So let's begin. All right, so what do you do it? All right, so what do you want to say about the night? What happened? What happened that night? I guess. All right, I want to see if we can go back to that particular night right after he was refused entry into that bar. So what happened when you left that bar? What happened when you left that bar? Oops. Okay, we have one that came out. All right, so there's the three of them, or the group of them, having drinks, having a good time, partying. So they were just having a good time. They were drinking that night, obviously. All right. We got a lot that came out here, and I do feel like I want to take them. All right, so stabbed in the back. So there's some betrayal here. So that automatically makes me feel like this is somebody that he potentially knew. This is definitely a betrayal. And it's interesting because we have two threes that have come out immediately. So we have the Three of Cups and we have the Three of Swords. So it's a possibility that there's at least three people involved, or maybe two others, including himself. But I feel like these, to me, the friends... The friends are bothering me at this point, because I look at this Three of Cups as like a friend card. So right now I'm getting red flags on the friends that he was actually with that night. The Hanged Man. And then we have the Nine of Swords. The Two of Wands. So kind of like that Two of Wands makes me feel like, not necessarily that it was planned, but it was something that happened and they needed to decide what to do. Right now, I'm really kind of on, and then we have the Death card. I'm really on the friends. This was a betrayal. This was something that happened from people that he trusted. And then the Four of Cups and the Moon. Okay, so the Moon card. All right. So let's start with what we have here. Let's see if this helps. I don't know if that helps or makes it worse, but all right. So again, like I said, we have the friends, the drinking, the partying, and this is kind of like a ghoulish deck. And so to me, the way those people look, or those women look, or those individuals, they don't look very friendly. So I am wondering if the friendship was more not as friendly as we are suspecting. Maybe these weren't very good friends. Yes, he was staying with some friends, and he was 20 years old. So I don't think that these were like ride or die friends, put it that way. I get something very off about the group of friends that he was with that night. And then, of course, the betrayal, the stabbing. And then we have the Hanged Man reversed, and it looks like it's a mummy in this deck. This is the first time I've ever used this deck, so these cards I am seeing for the first time. I didn't even really go through them, so I have no idea what to expect with this deck, but it hasn't disappointed thus far, I can tell you that. So it looks like he's a mummy, okay? So he's wrapped up. He's wrapped up, and obviously it's a hanged man, so he's hanging somewhere, but it makes me feel like something happened. I think that we're kind of jumping ahead a little bit, and perhaps there was some... Okay. I'll just say right now that I don't feel like he is with us anymore, okay? I don't feel like he is alive anywhere. I feel like he has passed on, and I think that he has been pretty much... blunt about telling us that tonight, or with these particular cards, especially the Death card and the 10 or the 9 of Swords. So I do feel like something was done, and there was definitely foul play, because, and I say that because of that 3 of Swords and the friends. There's something going on with the friends. I think that the friends know more than what they're saying, or potentially had something to do with what happened to him. But I do feel like at one point in the night, it's a possibility that he was wrapped up in something, okay? We've got a tree, we've got leaves. He's outside. He's potentially outside. And this hanged man is kind of hanging below the tree, right? So I have to wonder if maybe he is buried somewhere. I don't pick up anything. We've got some water over there, so that's a potential. I'm gonna have to draw more cards to kind of get a feel for here. But I feel like there's 2 people involved. I feel like he's the third. That's the way I feel, because we've got the 3 people here, we've got the 3 people here, but we've got 2 bats here, and we've got him. So I feel like there's at least, I'm guessing probably at least 2 people involved with what happened to him. And they are definitely, they have some regret and guilt as to what they did. Okay, they are not, I'm not quite sure what the motive is at this point in time, but there's definitely, it's still affecting them to this very day, right? It's been a while now, so this is something that they've been dealing with, and it has weighed heavily on their conscience, and you can tell by the horns. These aren't really, whoever this is, and it could be just the one, could be one of them. Maybe not all of them are bothered, but this one here, whoever this is really extremely bothered. And I'm looking at that. I mean, he looks like the devil, really. He looks like the devil. He's got the horns, he's got the claws, and he's got fangs, and he kind of looks like the devil in the devil card. And so this is a person that is not a very good person. He's got some serious issues, and he's got a really extreme dark side. I feel like this is the person, this is not Luke, but this is the person that is solely responsible for what happened to Luke. And yes, he's got some thoughts on his mind, and he's not there. He's a dark individual, but I kind of, at this point, I feel like he is part of that friend group. So there's one in particular out of this group that's like the ringleader behind this. I do feel like we are talking about a male. It's a male, definitely a male. So it makes me wonder, did they, the friends that he went to the bar with, did they interview them? Did they get, I guess when I read the article, he was seen leaving the bar and they were in the bar, but then there's some, I don't know, I'm a little bit confused about the story because I believe that I read that his jacket and his keys and cell phone were found back at home after, which leads me to believe that he did eventually make it back home. I don't know. It's a really confusing story. But I feel like there's a point in time where the friends that went in the bar reunited with him later on in the evening, if that makes sense. I feel like they split for a while. He went off, did whatever he did. I don't know, maybe he went back home. But then there was a time where I think the friends at the bar went home as well, and there was some sort of conflict or confrontation. So I'm really anxious to see if that 5 of swords or 5 of wands is going to come out, because that would kind of confirm this confrontation that I feel like possibly happened. And so then we have the death card. So I do feel like this is him basically saying, yeah, this is what happened to me. I'm not alive. Very interesting card. It looks like it's an open mouth. It looks like it's a skull, and it's got the teeth and the Grim Reaper inside of the mouth, and it's got arms out of the teeth. I feel like he's buried somewhere outside in the woods. I feel like he's in a wooded area. I don't know if you can see, but we've got trees here, and it looks like these hands are coming from the ground. They're actually in the eyes of the skull, but I feel like there's something here in this card that's saying that he's outside, he's in the woods, he's buried. I don't think that they're looking, I don't know if they're looking for a body. I would assume that they are, but I feel like they're looking in the wrong spot. The 2 of Wands is usually water. And that's kind of a thinking, kind of a pondering, a decision. I feel like they debated, really. They debated about what they were going to do with him. Do we put him... I think this is after the fact. This is after the fact that, they killed him. And then at this point, they're like, okay. To me, I'm just going to say right here that this guy and this guy are the one and the same. Okay, so yeah, the friend group I think is involved, but there's one particular guy that stands out more than the others, and he's the one that's thinking, what are we gonna do? Do we put him in water? Do we put him in, do we do this? Do we do that? And so he was kind of the one to figure out what their next step was. How are they going to deal with this? And then he made his decision, and I actually think that he chose against the water. He chose not to use the water to hide his body, unfortunately. And then we have the 4 of Cups. So the 4 of Cups, this is just got these images here. These guys are like very ghoulish. So the 4 of Cups is my stubborn card. I'm actually, again, looking at this person as not Luke, per se, but this guy here that we're talking about. So did Luke try to give him something, and he didn't want it for some reason? Because this ghoulish figure, to me, Luke is not coming out as a ghoulish figure, but the people responsible are. So I feel like this is definitely the person that we are talking about here. Is there something that this person wanted, or is there something that he needed to give to this person? But whatever it was, it wasn't enough. Like, he wasn't happy with that. He you can just look at him. He just looks like he has this evil eye, and he's just eyeing that cup, and he's like, no. Usually this is a person that isn't even looking at that cup. They're not even focused on that cup. They're focused on something else. So this is like a card that's saying, here, this is what I have to give to you. Take it or leave it. And 9 times out of 10, if this card comes up, they're going to leave it. They're going to be like, no, that's not what I want. So there's something to me that was offered to this person, that Luke offered to this person, and it was not received, or it was not enough, or whatever the case may be. Now, I have not had any pentacles yet, and I'm going to switch over here into my other deck here in a minute and see what else comes out. But I feel like we're really getting just choppy pieces of information coming forward, but good pieces nonetheless. But I want to know what that cup is filled with. I feel like there's something here. Cups are emotion, so those are feelings. So what does this cup represent? And then we have the moon reversed. So again, I feel like, we've got 3 characters. We've got the 2 dogs, or the wolf and the dog, and we've got the lobster or the clam. So we've got 3 again. We've got this number 3 that really keeps coming out. So I feel like there's a group of people that know more. They know more, right? And the way these 2 dogs, or that wolf and that dog, or whatever it is, are howling, I feel like it's a potential that somebody could talk. Somebody knows something, and all they need to do is speak up. I really do. And they're not doing that because this card came out reversed. There's secrets. This is a secret card. This is on the down low. This is under the night sky, under the cover of darkness, okay? So there's information that people have that, for whatever reason, they are not coming forward. And it could be potentially because they are scared of, they're scared of this guy. This guy here is trouble. So I don't know, Luke, to me, doesn't appear just on first glance to be the type of person to hang out with somebody that could cause issues like this or grief like this. But then again, looks are very deceiving, and this could look like a normal young adult individual, and you wouldn't think twice about it, but inside he's got some dark demons, and nobody would know. I don't think anybody would suspect, but there are people that know, even if it's just the group that's involved. But there might be one person that comes forward and says, yeah, I've got information, but they don't want to go against that main guy. All right, interesting deck. Very interesting deck. Let me just pull one more, and I want to ask, what was the cup representing? What was in that cup? What were you trying to offer to this guy, Luke? What were you trying to offer to him that he was not accepting? What were you trying to offer? He was offering him something. Money. This is literally an answer to my question. This is an amazing deck. I've never used it before, but it is amazing. So I asked again, what was in that cup? What was Luke trying to give to this person? Literally answered my question with an Ace of Pentacles. He was trying to give him money. So there was an exchange of money. You've got a hand, you've got a pentacle, and it's out, and that to me represents giving. Okay, something being given. So Luke was trying to give this individual money, and he was not a happy camper with it. Like, he wasn't happy. He wanted more. It was almost like he wanted more. Let me go back to that card real quick. It was almost like, if you look at his face, he's like looking at it, he's scratching his chin, and he's like, I don't know if that's what I want. And it's not like he needed it. Okay, this wasn't a guy who needed it. This is a guy who, there's a pattern here. So I don't know what the pattern represents. I don't know if it's payments, from Luke to him, or if it's random payments from other people to him. Could this be somebody that you buy weed from? Could this, something along those lines? I don't really feel like there's anything here that's, well, I don't want to say that yet, but could this be a dealer, something along those lines? And I don't know. This is just to me that speaks of a greedy individual, a very greedy individual, and Luke was trying to give him something and it wasn't enough. He wanted more. Interesting. All right, so let me go ahead and switch up the decks. I want to go to the Haunted House, okay, Haunted House Tarot. And I want to, since we kind of got the basics, I don't feel like he's here anymore. I feel like the friends are involved. There's at least one friend that's just downright evil, okay? I want to ask, though, specifically, how did his belongings get back to the house? Okay, so, how did your belongings get back to the house? You left the bar. What happened? Tell us the story of what happened. How did you get back? How did your things get back? Did you make it back, or did just your things make it back? Tell us what happened. How did your jacket get back to the house? And then with this particular deck, the main character is a woman. But that main character in this case is going to represent Luke. Okay, so let's see. Tell us what happened when you got back. Or no, not when you got back, because I don't want to ask. I don't want to assume. So let's just ask, plain and simple, how did your belongings get back to the house? How did your belongings get back to the house? How did your belongings get back to the house? How did your jacket and whatnot get back to the house? Tell us the story. How did things get back to the house? Interesting. This is the Queen of Pentacles. Reverse. Let's pull that bottom card. I feel like he tried to get away. I feel like I do kind of feel like he did make it back to the house physically, because I feel like this is him running away from the house, and she doesn't have a jacket on, right? It looks like a cold night. She's on the edge of the water. She's just running with nothing. She doesn't look like she's carrying a purse or anything, and so I feel like this is him. This is him knowing that he's in trouble and trying to get out of it. And we've got a Pentacles card. Something to do with money. We've got the guy. He's coming out again. He's dark. This guy that was with him, or whatever, who is involved with this, is a very, very dark individual. It's money. It's money. It's all about money. It's all about money. Yeah, we've got the Tower card. So this is, again, the Seven of Pentacles. So this is almost like, I feel like this is him. Okay, this is Luke trying to figure out what he's going to do. How is he going to make this work? How is he going to pay this guy? I feel like there's an exchange of money, or this guy demanded money, whoever this is. He demanded money from him, and Luke, I don't feel like, had enough, because the Seven of Pentacles is typically a card where a person is kind of reflecting on what they did to get to that point. And it's not necessarily a wonderful card. It's kind of like, I was saving and I was hoping by now I'd have more, and I don't. And so now I need to kind of figure out how I'm going to readjust my saving schedule. Maybe I need to, save a little bit more each week, because this didn't work. This plan didn't work. I got some, but it wasn't enough. So that's what this card is to me. So this is a card where he's kind of looking at his finances and he's like, I don't have enough. I've got some money, but I don't have enough to pay for what this person is demanding of me. So I don't know what I'm going to do. So he's like trying to figure it out. He's trying to think. He doesn't know what he's going to do. And at this point, he has his jacket off. Okay, so this is, I feel like, at the house. I feel like he actually did physically make it back to the house. We're kind of skipping around, so I don't really know exactly what happened between the bar and the home, but I feel like he made it home, and he is with this individual, and this individual is just there, and he's making all sorts of demands. And, this is the guy that's responsible. This is Luke, and he's like, this is about finances. And this guy that he is dealing with, who Luke is dealing with, is a very deranged man, okay? And it doesn't take much for him to react. He reacts quickly and harshly. This is the Knight of Swords. This is the fast card, right? The speedy card. He's usually on a horse and he's going full speed ahead. So this is a person who is, he wants it now. He wants what he wants and he wants it now, and he's going to get it no matter what he has to do. Okay, no matter what he has to do. So this is the type of person, and if you add that with somebody dark, that can be frightening. And so that's what he came across. He did not have the money. He didn't have enough money. This is the Queen of Pentacles, but it's reversed. So again, this is these three here. These three here are to me, with the Ace of Pentacles also reversed. This here says it was about finances, didn't have enough. There wasn't enough. And this guy responded, and next thing you know, Luke knows he's in trouble. He knew he was in trouble, and he got the hell out of Dodge, and he left everything. So I would imagine, excuse me, I would imagine that the reason why that stuff, okay, his jacket and whatever else was left at that house was because he left in a hurry. He didn't, I don't think anything happened at that particular home. It happened because I do believe, excuse me, I do believe that the person who's responsible went after Luke. So whatever happened away from the house. So there might not be any evidence of a crime at that house. I'm assuming that maybe when the police went there, they probably checked. There was nothing there because nothing happened there, right? There was nothing there that happened there. So this crime took place away from that house. And the reason why his stuff was there was because Luke left it there in a hurry. And then we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, so we've got two knights. We've got the Knight of Wands. No, this is the Page of Wands. So we've got the Page of Wands and the Knight of Swords. The Page of Wands. What is this card? What is this card? We've got the ball in her hand. We've got the white horse. The white horse, the ball. I'm going to have to pull another card and see on that one because I'm not quite sure what the message is on that one. Green. Got a lot of green. A lot of green. And then we have the King of Cups. Who's the King of Cups here? The King of Cups. The King of Cups. I have to wonder if that King of Cups is his father. He's kind of coming in like a rescuer. I mean, he is definitely determined. I mean, this is a determined individual, right? So I feel like his father, and this is the feelings, cup, emotions. And so I feel like his dad, actually, I feel like he is aware that his dad is looking for him. He knows this. I feel like that's why this card is coming out. He's like, I know that you're looking for me, Dad. I know that you're doing everything that you can for me. Keep doing it. Keep trying, okay? Because there's going to be some answers eventually. I do believe that. So I feel like this light here around this king is really, really a good representation of his father, and I also feel like the light around him is also an indicator that Luke is in a better, he's okay. His soul is moved on. He is ascended. So, regardless of what happened, it was a really dark evening, and he encountered a really dark individual, which I think was one of his friend group. But he knows that his dad is on it, and he knows that his dad is doing everything that he can to help this case be solved, and I think that he needs to continue to do so. And then we have the tower event. So this is what happened. I mean, literally these three cards here, and I think that the reason why Dad is coming up in all of this, like, he's surrounded by this stuff, so it's kind of weird that Dad just pops up out of nowhere. I feel like Dad knows what is going down. Like, he has some suspicions. I feel like Dad may know this person. He may know this person, but maybe there's just no evidence to back it up. Maybe he just has suspicions. I don't know, but I feel like Dad is coming up right here with these three horrible cards. We've got the running away, we've got the perpetrator, and we've got his world crashing. Okay, the tower. So everything just kind of crashed that night. I mean, literally, the way I'm holding these cards, he looks like he's looking down on him. So he caused this tragedy in Luke's life. This was definitely the ending that night, unfortunately. So running away, this guy catches up to him, and he does what he does. So I feel like because of the location of the dad coming up where he did, I feel like Dad has suspicions, or Dad knows, okay? But Dad's coming up for a reason. And it's a good reason, though, because this is a good card, okay? This is not coming out reversed. It's got the white feathers, the white angels, and the wings and things like that. So this is a really good card, and it's a wholesome, pure card, right? So that represents his dad's motives in all of this. He is doing it truly because he loves his son. Let me ask what's going on with that Knight of Wands real quick, or that Page of Wands, because I'm not quite sure what's going on. Can you elaborate on that card? What does that card mean, Luke? Tell us what that card means. Tell us what that card means. Family. Family, money. Family, money reversed. Family, money reversed. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say, Luke? Family, money, keyhole, door, house. What are you trying to say? Doorway. A doorway, a house, money. Could this person... Could this person be well known in the community? Is this person that's responsible, is he somebody that people are aware of, that he, there's something about him? Are we talking about the perpetrator here? Are we talking about the guy who's responsible? What are these cards, Luke? What are these cards? Six of Swords. Oh, I think he left. I think that this guy left. He left the area. This is why that home card is coming out reversed. He left the area. He left that house. It's that house. It's the house. He's no longer at the house. So the house is no longer occupied by these people, I would imagine, based on that. They wanted to get out of there. This is literally him. They wanted to get the hell out of there. So I don't necessarily know if they're still in the area, but I would guess that they're no longer at that house. And again, we've got a couple of people, so I feel like there's more than one, but there's one that's just nasty, and he's sticking out. Okay, he's coming through loud and clear. But they left. I feel like they are trying to put as much distance between them and this situation as possible. got a major storm here. Major storm and lightning. He just kind of, to me, this person, whoever this guy is, whoever he is, he just like wreaks havoc wherever he goes. It's like it follows him. You know, he just is a dark individual, and he is just it doesn't matter what he's doing, where he's going. He can try to put distance between this situation and his life, but he goes on to the next thing, and he starts crap wherever he goes after that. I mean, this is just a sick individual. He's got evil, dark intentions, and he just kind of wreaks havoc wherever he finds himself to be. It's almost kind of like Luke found himself with a very dark individual, and I don't think that he knew he was with a dark individual. He probably assumed that he was just his friend, but he realized very quickly that night that this was not a friend, and you know, this was somebody that he needed to get the hell away from. This tells me he knew he was in trouble that night. All right, so all right, let's see what we got here. Can you tell us about where you're at? Can you tell us where you're located, where your body is located? Is there any way that you can kind of pinpoint? I feel like it's in the woods. Take that one. Jeez. What a reading tonight. What a reading. Huh. All right. I definitely feel like he is buried somewhere. He is in that area. He is buried somewhere. I don't even know if he's aware fully as to where he is. He might not be exactly sure because he was not, he was kind of, at that point, he could not, he just didn't know, all right? So this kind of blindsided him. Like, he didn't expect this at all. This was a complete and utter shock to him. Literally blindsided. He goes home, something happens, he goes home, he runs into problems with a friend or a friend of a friend, but there's he knew this person, okay? He knew this person. And I feel like with this high priestess coming out, he's definitely saying that he did not listen to his instincts. Like, he dismissed maybe some red flags along the way, looking back. And he just wasn't paying attention. He just assumed that it was, whatever, and that none of this could ever happen to him. So it really kind of blindsided him, but he's definitely saying he's outside. He's not exactly 100% sure. But we've got that money exchange again, so definitely a money exchange. We've got rats. So we've got rats. It looks like, we're in an alley here. It looks like it's dark and just nasty and grimy. So I don't know what that means, but right now I'm looking at the scales. That's coming out to me right now. And I feel like, if anything, the scales are what is meant to be seen in this card. All of it is, but the scales in particular are not balanced at this point. So it's not going to be balanced until there's justice in this case, right? So Luke definitely wants justice in this case. He wants this person to be held responsible for what he did to him. And to me, again, this woman here is Luke, and he is giving money to a rat. And there's two rats. There's these two friends. So I feel like there's three people. There's including Luke, right? And so this one here is the guy that we have been focused on all night. So it's like Luke is giving him something, it's not enough, and boom. Not to be trusted. He turned on him 100%. So we're in a dark alley. Could that represent the house? Could it represent the area outside the house, maybe a street or something like that? Maybe an exchange happened outside in the street, near the house or something along those lines. But definitely, I feel like he is outside and he is buried, unfortunately. We've got the Page of Pentacles. So, and with this particular card, it's interesting because I've got this and I've got the Judgment card, right? I've got Judgment and I've got this one here. And Judgment came out reverse. So I'll get to that in a second. But I wanted to show you how, to me, both of these cards, well, this one here kind of looks, whenever I see this card, I always get a feeling that she is in a cemetery. She's near a headstone. That's always the image that comes into my mind when I see this. And I don't even know if it is. It could be, I'm not sure what it is, but it does give me this cemetery kind of headstone vibe. And I always, whenever I seen this card, I always took it as someone who was kind of young and trying to learn, something like magic or something along those lines. We've got the owls, and it's just kind of that vibe of a card for me. So I personally take that, he is definitely outside, buried somewhere. And again, I feel like this all evolved around money. It was nothing else, I don't think, but money. A lot of pentacle cards coming up, so I feel like this had everything to do with money, and it wasn't even a lot of money. It's just that this guy wanted more, and Luke didn't have it, or something. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but it's like Luke didn't have enough. He was short, and this guy just lost it. And then we have the Judgment card. So the Judgment card shows a woman, this is always usually about, rebirth, renewal, all that good stuff, endings, new beginnings. And I do feel like this is, again, another card that is, to me, solidifying that Luke is no longer here. Okay. And a couple things about this card. I feel like the crime happened outside someplace, okay, which is why nothing ever came of maybe the house, I'm assuming. I feel like the crime happened outside. Think back to that mummy in the beginning, okay? I feel like he was wrapped up. He could have been wrapped up in a blanket or a sheet or something along those lines, but I feel like he was wrapped up. He was taken somewhere, which is kind of why Luke himself is still a little bit off about where he is, okay? He's not even quite sure at this point in time. But I feel like this represents two things. Number one, I feel like it is this person, this guy, carrying Luke at times. Carrying Luke to where he disposed of him. Number two, I feel like it's his dad finding him and kind of bringing closure to the case. Okay, so I feel like this is both. I feel like I said, I do feel like there's going to be some closure in this case, and I feel like it's going to be dad that kind of saves the day and is able to bring his son home, because again, this is kind of a rebirth, a renewal, and so I feel like this represents the closing of the case. I'm going to see if I can kind of get a time frame of when this case is going to be solved, but I think that right now they're kind of looking in wrong places, and it's definitely outside, and I feel like it's in the woods. And so, between the time that he went missing on, what was it, the 4th? Was it the 4th? What day was it? Yeah, the 4th. He wasn't reported missing to the police until the 7th. That's 3 days. That's 3 days that this guy had an opportunity to do what they needed to do. So he may not actually, in this time, at that point, he may not have even been in the area anymore. You can travel a very far distance in 3 days. So I'm not even necessarily sure that he is in that area, okay? Because we've got, like I said, these people have a 3-day lead on what they decided to do. So, but I do feel like he is definitely outside, and I feel like this savior is his dad. His dad is going to bring a clue. Well, then it's a woman. Okay, it's a woman. But I kind of feel like it's dad. But I do feel like there's going to be closure in this. There's definitely going to be closure in this. And then we have the magician reversed. The magician. I almost feel like this is the guy. This is the guy. He's sneaky. He's sneaky. He is something. I wonder if he's a little bit older. Could one of those friends be potentially older than Luke? But this is definitely the guy, because it's right next to that card here. When the magician comes out reversed like that, to me it's manipulation. Okay, sneaky. You cannot trust this person. They're always doing something. And so this is definitely another, he's a liar. He's a liar for sure. Okay, so if this person was ever interviewed, he has flat out lied. He has flat out lied and deceived everybody. And he takes care to cover his tracks. He takes care to hide his identity and hide his true self. He's got gloves on. Okay, so he's definitely careful about evidence that he leaves behind, or any kind of DNA or anything like that. I think he's taken really good care in that 3 days to remove any kind of identification. And he is acting as if, the police are welcome. If you flip this card over and you look at the magician, he's standing there and he's letting you in. Now, we know it came out reversed, but this is him opening his door. Okay, he's opening his door. So he is kind of, I feel like with the police, he is trying to portray that he's cooperative and that he's helping and that he's giving information that he has. But all the information that he's giving is a lie. Okay, so definitely I feel like this is one of the friends. Really quick, I want to ask for sure, is this one of the friends that you were visiting? Is this one of the friends that you were visiting? Okay, we got a couple. Yeah, I really do feel like it's one of the friends, but I don't know if it's just because, I don't know, I feel like it could be an older friend. It could be somebody, this person might not be old, but he's definitely, I think, a little bit older than Luke. I don't know, I'm looking at Luke back there, and I feel like there was something that he observed in this person that night. There was something I think that this kind of precedes the running away. I feel like, and now I'm thinking about that high priestess. I have a feeling that he kind of got vibes about this guy, but he dismissed him. He knew something was off with him. There was something off with him. I don't know if he's seen him do something. I don't know if he observed, if it was just a feeling, but there was something off about him that struck him odd. But he dismissed it anyways. He continued to be around this guy. And it ended up being a huge mistake. This guy, we've got the devil again. This guy, the devil, well, I think in the other deck, kind of all the people looked ghoulish, right? So, but this definitely solidifies that this person is just downright evil. This is a nasty individual. And then we got the Five of Pentacles. So again, money. This is a hardship card, and it's in reverse. And then we've got spiders. So there's always something about this particular card in this deck that always creeps me out, because we've got the spiders. And you've just got, I get a trapped web, poisonous bite type feeling, sneaky. they can travel fast. They can, hide in all sorts of crevices and things like that, and they're scary. And so I think that we're actually, referring to this person. I asked if this was in his friend group, and I feel like he's saying yes, it was, but this is the kind of individual that we're dealing with. It is a very nasty individual. Was he one of the friends at your house? Or was he living at this house? Death. We've got a Ouija board. Two of Wands. We've got a Ouija board. And we've got the Sun reversed. And the Nine of Wands. I feel like, honestly, at this point, Luke really, 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 truly wants to get information across. He wants information to come out. He tries. I think that he tries to communicate. He tries to communicate with his father. I believe that really the way he has told the story tonight, he is definitely wanting to get the pieces of the puzzle out there. He's trying to let us know what is going on. There's a guy that was involved in this home, in this friend group, that is not who he claims to be. That is very dark, very evil individual. And I'm going to ask here in a minute, because I have this Nine of Wands that I'm staring at. Is this something that this person has done before? Is this a pattern of behavior? Has he harmed other people in the past? Is that something that Luke found out about that night? Is there something going on here? But there's definitely the money situation. But I feel like this Sun, okay, I feel like, yes, Luke has ascended. He has passed on. He is in a good place. He is not in any kind of, he is definitely ascended up, right? Or over to that place. However, he isn't truly, truly, truly completely satisfied until this case is solved. This is, to me, and the fact that we've got the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands in this deck is a Ouija board. He tries to communicate, but the messages are not getting through for some reason. So I don't know if he is trying to, send messages to his dad, but maybe his dad isn't receptive to it, or maybe his dad doesn't pick it up, or he's not getting all the message. But there's messages that are coming from Luke, okay, to people of importance in this case. And I think in particular his dad. So his dad is, he's definitely trying to get the information out there. All right, so this person, has he done this before? Has he done this before? The Rest card. We've got the Emperor. The Emperor. The way that particular Emperor is makes me feel like, yeah, he could have, this is, we've got that 3 again. We've got that 3 of Pentacles. This is the friends. This is the friends. This is all about the friends that he was with that night. Immediately when I looked into this case, when I read the link that you sent, I immediately was like, okay, I don't know. I've got boys around that age, and I'm thinking if one of them got turned away at a bar, would the other ones just go in and leave them behind, especially in the cold, or especially if you have somebody out of town visiting you and you guys go out together? Are you really going to let this person just be turned away and you go in and have a good time and just let them be? It just didn't sit right with me. It doesn't feel right. So I do feel like this is definitely has more to do with that friend group, okay? They may have not been not necessarily suspects, just because just because they were seen going in the bar and he's seen leaving. So I think people kind of assumed that something happened to him after he left, that he came into trouble afterwards. And I don't think that that's what happened. I think that he ended up going back home, which would explain why the jacket was there. He went back home. The friends ended up leaving. I wonder what time the friends left the bar, if they've ever looked into when those friends left the bar. Were they there for an hour, 2 hours? I don't know, but I feel like they left, and then when they went back home, there was something going on. There was something happened, and that's when all hell broke loose. And he knew he was in trouble. He knew he was in trouble, and he tried to get out of there. But as far as this person is concerned, we have the Emperor reversed. And then we have the 4. So we have 2 4s, right? So the 4 is a balanced number. It's an even number. So when it comes out reversed, it's imbalanced. So there's something wrong with the guy, right? I don't necessarily know if he has killed someone before, but he has definitely, I feel like, harmed someone or attacked them. This Emperor looks like a killer, right? He looks like a trophy killer. And he appears to travel all over the world. And then, of course, it's the Emperor. So the Emperor, when it's reversed, can be an asshole, can be very manipulative, can be very nasty. And so that is what this person is. I think we've established that this person is a complete asshole, and he is very dishonest and very deceptive and very manipulative. He is a little bit older than Luke. Okay, so I definitely feel it doesn't have to be 50 years old, but he is definitely, whether it be 24, 25, he is older than Luke. But I feel like with the globe there, okay, he definitely is no longer in that area. He has moved. I feel like he has moved away. He has gotten out of that house, even if it's moved from that home to another home, but he's definitely not in that house anymore. But when I'm looking at that, whatever it is, rhinoceros, I don't even know, with that horn, this is somebody who just, like I said, causes havoc everywhere he goes. He just gets himself into trouble, and he causes harm. He causes harm towards others. And he's got some definite demons. He's definitely got some demons. I mean, he's not just, this tells me that he's not completely soulless, although it comes across that way, but he's got some demons that, that bother him. He might have taken a break, he might not, but I feel like with those 4 swords up there, those represent different people that he has caused harm to in the past. It's not just Luke. I don't necessarily know if he's killed anyone, but it's like he has things that haunt him at night. Okay, he has things on his mind that are haunting him all the time. And I think a little bit of that might be Luke. I really do. I feel like Luke might even be kind of pressuring him to kind of come forward and explain what happened. Tell the authorities what happened, or somebody else involved in it to tell what happened. And then we have the Queen of Wands. So this is a female. We've got a woman. Involved in this case. There's a woman. I don't know who this is, but this is a woman. So I am definitely getting a female energy here, and this is a high woman, right? Not high, but this is somebody on the hierarchy, at a higher level, involved in this case, and she is very passionate. And it's a 3, right? So it's a 3. So is it 3 women? Is it 1? I don't know, but there's something here with a woman who is very she's a queen, right? So she is very knowledgeable, she's very passionate, she's very determined. So it could be a detective, right? It could be a detective that is involved in the case, but she looks confident, she looks poised, she's sitting in front of a piano. So this is a person who is definitely has a lot of skill and talent in other things as well as whatever, but there's somebody here that is involved in the case, and I feel like the reason why she is coming up in this pull is because she knows who it is. So I feel like this person here, maybe it's a detective and dad, I don't know if they have worked together or not, but I feel like they are both on the same page and they have something in mind. I mean, if she's looking out, she looks like she's kind of focused on something. So she's looking out and she's paying attention, and she almost has this calm, I got you look. Like she's not worried, she's not concerned, she's not happy, she's just got this grin. I don't know if you can see it, but she's just got this grin of, I know you. I know what you did, and I'm going to get you. I may not get you today, but I am going to get you. So I do feel like there are people that know who he is, and I feel like because of that, he is starting to feel the pressure. I feel like this is also a pressure card for him. He's starting to feel the heat. All right, so let me switch over to my Heaven and Earth tarot deck. And I want to go back again to the location. I really want to focus on that. I can shuffle. Okay, can you give us more hint about where you're at? All right, so I'm going to ask a couple of specific questions and pull a card, a single card for each one. Okay. Put in some reversals. All right. What do we got here on the bottom? We got that Magician again. Magician reversed. That has come out twice now. The Magician reversed, to me, tells me that he thinks he's sly. He thinks he's gotten away with it, but he hasn't. He hasn't gotten away with it. People know who he is now, I think. I really do believe Dad knows who it is, and I believe that female, whoever she is, also knows who it is. It's just a matter of, his world, he's not doing very well. He's caused a lot of harm and chaos in people's lives, and now he's also suffering from the same fate. So he's kind of, I have a feeling that, especially with the last couple cards, with the 4, he, with the hands coming up over the bed, he's dealing with some shit in his life. Like, he's got some karma coming back at him. Whatever is going on in his life, he is not doing very well at all, okay, which is fair, okay, after what he did. But he is starting, I still think that he believes, maybe he's questioning it, because I believe that if it had come out upright, the Magician, he would think that he got away with it. I'm now starting to wonder if maybe he felt like he got away with it, but now feels the heat and feels everything crumbling below him. His world is coming to an end as he knows it. All right, so I guess I was going to ask specific questions. Yeah, we've got a conflict here. All right, so I want to ask specifically, where are you? Where is your body located? Where should people look? Are you in the North Bay area? Are you in the North Bay area? Are you still in the North Bay area? I think he is. I definitely think he is in the North Bay area. I don't think that they traveled that far. I'm kind of shocked, because in that 3 days they had, I suppose it's hard to travel with a body. You don't want to obviously risk being pulled over or something along those lines. But I feel like it's closer than I originally thought with this coming out to my answer, or to my question. But he's definitely in the woods. That pentacle, there's something there, I think. There's something there that if they were to get in the area close enough, they would be able to see something, okay? That pentacle stands for something. It's a rod. She's got a rod and she's holding the pentacle. We've got leaves on the ground. It's definitely in a wooded area. It looks dark. There's something there. I feel like he is close. I feel like he is in that area, that location. I don't know what kind of forest is up there, or there's tons of forest area, or how many, locations of woods you have. It could be virtually a needle in a haystack, but I do feel like he is closer than what I originally thought. All right. Have people looked in that area yet? Have people looked in the area yet? The King of Swords. I do feel like people have looked. They have looked. They just haven't found it yet, but they are going to find him, I believe. That is determination right there. And then I pulled this Knight of Wands earlier, and so that is determination. That is fire. That is energy. That is full force on a horse, right? So people are invested in this. People are determined, and I feel like with these cards coming out, that's a good sign that eventually he is going to be found. I don't know exactly when, but this is definitely the energy that's behind. This is the energy that's behind locating him, and that's good energy to have. That is good energy to have. If you wanted someone on your side, you would want these two. So there's more than one individual, I think, that's involved in finding him. I think we've got Dad, I think we've got the female, we've got a couple of other individuals. This could represent police or investigations, private investigators, but there's determination from multiple figures, and I believe that the determination and the intelligence from all of these people working together, they already know, I think, what happened, and or have a good idea as to what happened, but now it's just coming down to trying to get the evidence and locating Luke. Okay, so I think that definitely, the determination is there. How long before they find you? How long before they find you? Are they close to finding you? Are they close to finding you? Not yet. Not yet. They are looking in the wrong spot. They're not. I think they've been in that area. Right? They've been in that area and they've kind of looked in the area, but they're not quite in the right spot. Could they be looking in water? Could they assume that there's something going on in the water, and that's where they're focusing their time? And I believe that if they're focusing their time on the water, they're not going to find anything. So it's actually taking them away from where they should be. Okay, if they're focusing on water, they're not on the right thing. That's deterring them from that's not helping. He's not in water, he's on land. How long before they find you? How long before they find you? Valor. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Wands. So it's hard to tell. I like to consider these readings a year to max out. So, is this, 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years? But there's definitely some time, I think, before they find him. But if you notice, this man is standing on the ground and he's looking down. He's looking down at the dirt. He's looking down at those wands. He's looking down at something, the ground. So I feel like, again, this is an indication that he's actually in the ground. He has been buried. He has been buried in the woods in that area. He is in that area still. And I feel like they will come across him eventually, but it is going to be a while, I think, still, whatever that 7 means. But the determination is going to get them there. They are going to find him eventually. Will this man who is responsible for your death, is he going to be held accountable? Is he going to be held accountable? We've got the Judgment card. How fitting for that question. The Judgment card, will he be held accountable? But it's coming out in reverse. So I believe yes, but it's not going to be right away. I do think that there's some time to this. There's some time left before this case gets solved, and I do feel like it is going to be solved. But like I said, not right away. This person is going to be held responsible, but not right away. I do hope that this is not an indication that it's going to be when this man passes over and he's going to have to pay his karma. I hope that's not what it is. I don't feel like it is. I feel like it's something that could still happen here on Earth, but it's not going to be right away. This is something that happens down the line. Where is this person at now? What's going on? What happened to him after this? What happened to him? Where is he presently? Where is he at presently? And we've got that Seven of Cups again. Okay, we've got the Seven of Cups, so I feel like he doesn't really stay in one spot. I feel like he kind of wanders. He just doesn't, have a particular spot that he really, he just, and there's something about the number 7. There's something about the number 7 because it's another 7, right? So, keep that in mind. Is it going to be 7 months if they find him? 7 years? I don't know, but there's something about that number 7 that's piquing my interest. But I feel like he just kind of goes with the wind. He just kind of goes where the wind takes him. He doesn't like to stay in one spot long. I think a lot of that has to do with the chaos that he causes wherever he goes. Like, he just can't control himself. He's that knight. Remember that Knight of Swords, that dark one with the lightning and the cape? He's that person. He reacts quickly. He can't control his anger. He can't control his words. He can't control his rage, and it gets him into trouble. Okay, and so he has a tendency to move on, and it might be that actually takes him down eventually. It could be just something that gets him in trouble later on for something else, and he gets into the system and it just kind of deteriorates from there. But I don't think that I don't necessarily know yet if he's in the area. I don't feel like I don't feel like he is in the area. We've got defeat. So we've got the five of swords. So I don't feel like he is still with that friend group. This friend group that originally went out with Luke that night have kind of dispersed. They're kind of no longer together. And this guy here is, the idiot, the asshole, the evil guy. So, definitely some bad blood between him and them. Or him and another person, because I feel like the 3 people, I don't know if it was 3 friends, not including Luke, or 3 friends including Luke, okay? But there's definitely an importance with the number 3, and I feel like this guy is no longer part of that team. He just, his personality just sucks, and it just kind of dispersed. All right, so, okay, what else do you want to tell us tonight? Luke, what do you want to tell us tonight? Let me go ahead and move these out of the way. All right, what do you want to tell us tonight? What else do you want to tell us? Let me take this bottom one. And we have, oh, wow, great, great, great. What do you want to tell us? What do you want to tell us, Luke? How do you want to end this reading? How do you want to end this reading, Luke? Tell us what you want to tell us. Tell us a message for your dad, a message for everybody. Got that Fool card. He's at peace. He's definitely at peace. Huh. Interesting. I feel like his main message is that he's at peace, but he wants finality to. He wants his parents, his dad, and his mom. I didn't really have much come out with his mom. Okay, I had a lot of kings. I did have that queen. So maybe that queen could be his mom, but I felt like the dad was more prevalent in this reading tonight. And so I feel like he wants his dad to know what happened to him, but he also wants his dad to know that he's okay. He is okay. All right, that is him. That's him. He is okay. Just because the case isn't solved and he wants it solved doesn't mean he's in a bad place. He's okay himself. He's at peace, right? But he definitely wants justice as well. that dove up there, this is a peaceful card for me, especially when it comes out upright like this. So he's okay, but like I said, he wants justice. He wants these two people down here, okay, these two individuals that partook in his death. He wants them to be held responsible for what they did. But he's the one up here. He's okay. These two guys are down here still. He's okay. So that's what he wants. That's the message. And then we've got, again, I don't think he knows exactly where he is. I really don't. And I think that this is also, again, his regret of not listening to his instinct. This was something that really blindsided him. He didn't expect it. He didn't expect that to happen that night. There were some red flags about this guy. We've got a red flag here, right? We've got this red blanket. So there were some red flags, I feel, that this guy showed, and Luke kind of suspected it, but he chose not to listen to that, and he regrets that. He made the decision to just turn a blind eye to what he was witnessing or what he felt inside about this person. And he feels a little bit reckless. Okay, he was reckless that night. He wasn't prepared. He didn't make good choices. He didn't make good decisions, and he knows that, and he recognizes that. That dog down here is like a warning. Okay, he had something tugging at him. There was a warning tugging at him, but he didn't listen to it, which is why it came out like this. So. Definitely a little bit of regret, but he is definitely okay, because we do have this, we have this bird up here as well, this dove. And so, again, there's peace, but some regret on his end. Again, we've got that Four of Cups. So, I do feel like this is, this was his offering to this person. It's almost like he's telling the story again. He's like summing it up. There was this offer to this person, and this person, that's not what that person wanted. It wasn't enough. He wasn't happy with what he had. Okay, so if it was a money exchange or something along those lines, he just wasn't happy with it, and it resulted in his death. Okay, so we've literally got the death card, and I'm literally taking it as the death card today. Okay, that is what it is. And the reason why it's coming out reversed is that it really wasn't expected, number one, and it probably wasn't his time. I mean, some argue that when it's your time, regardless. But I tend to feel like sometimes we all have a destiny. We all have that exit date, and things can, happen to interrupt that. And so I do believe sometimes that it's before our quote-unquote time, and I feel like it was before his time. Okay, it was before Luke's time. It wasn't supposed to be like this. It wasn't meant to be like this, but it happened, and that's just, that's what it is. But it wasn't meant to be that way. I feel like this was a really, like, oh man, if he hadn't went on that trip kind of things. And so there's a little bit of that feeling as well. And I do think there's a little bit of disappointment on Luke's side. I mean, even though he's happy and he's at peace, there's also this feeling that he's still dealing with, like, gosh, how did I get myself into this situation? And again, we've got the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is all about the mental, and just, again, it's like I said, I feel like he was blindsided. He was just blindsided, and he didn't expect it. It's almost shocking to him, even. Like, he did not see this coming, and it just came. It was just like that. I think it was rather quick. He felt like he felt like there was something off. He didn't listen to his gut instinct, and he continued on, and he got into a situation where this guy just flipped on him. I think this guy just flipped on him, and he just started going after him, and he just started running. And this guy eventually, I did pull that Five of Wands earlier. This guy eventually caught up with him, and that that's what happened. And I believe that he was buried afterwards. And so, but I feel like there were things throughout the night. I'm going to ask one more question, because I want to know if this is somebody that he was familiar with. Was this a longtime friend? Was this a new friend? Was this just somebody that was invited to the friend group or something? Because there's something really off about this guy, this guy that did this. And then we have despair and cruelty. So this man, he is definitely, I believe that we're talking about the perpetrator at this point. He is a very cruel individual. And again, there's a pattern here. There's a pattern of behavior with him. He's got a lot of issues. This card has come out more than once now. But I want to ask quickly, let me use my other deck. I want to ask, is this somebody that you knew already? Did you know this person? Was this a friend of yours, or was this somebody new? Is this a friend of yours? Ten of Swords. Okay. I would definitely take that as a no. He's still telling the story. He was definitely, I think, wrapped in something, and these two people that are involved in it. I know I keep focusing on the one tonight. And there's two of them, though. But there's only one, to me, that's responsible for the actual killing, and the other one kind of helped with everything else. And so now this, it shows them walking to the water. I feel like that's out. He didn't walk towards the water. They carried him someplace. They carried him to where they buried him. But I'm asking specifically, was this a close friend of yours? Was this just somebody that you met that night? What's going on with this guy? We got another 3. So I feel like that's an indication that this was part of his friend group. This was a friend. Not someone that he hung out with often. This might have been a distant relationship. It could have been not a close friend per se. We've got the 3, so we've got that unity. We've got that 3 coming up again. 3 and 7 has been prevalent in this reading. But this is a travel card as well. This is, this to me says, yes, he was a friend, but perhaps a friend that wasn't very close. This was somebody that he obviously traveled to go see, or maybe they had a long distance friendship. Maybe it was texting. Maybe they knew each other at one point. Maybe they, whatever. They weren't living in the same area, but definitely I feel like this was somebody that he was aware of. He just didn't know who this person was. Tell us a little bit more about this friendship. How long did you know this person? How long did you know him for? Ace of Cups. So I feel like I take this as he thought that they were really good friends. He was under the belief that they were really good friends. He is very shocked by it because he just did not expect this. This was a friendship. Yeah, he thought that there was some mutual respect and trust, but that's not what it was. So, and it's not coming out reversed. So there could have been at one time, there could have been some mutual respect. I don't know what happened to this guy, but something happened along the way. But this definitely to me indicates, yes, this was a friend of his. This wasn't somebody that just was new to the group. Like, this was somebody that he had, he had not feelings for him, but he cared about him. Okay, this was somebody that he cared about, that he trusted. He trusted him. He felt like he was safe with him to a certain extent until that night when something happened, something went awry, and all hell broke loose, and all of a sudden he got this vibe that he was not safe that night. And then we've got the Sun. So we've got the two of them. So this is their friendship. So I do believe that they've known each other for quite some time. They did have a somewhat close relationship or friendship. There were times where, everything was fine, and then it wasn't fine. So what made this guy change? Like, what happened to this guy? How did he go from friend to enemy in such a short span of time? What happened? What happened with this guy? What's going on here? If you guys were friends, how did he snap so quickly? What happened? What made him snap like that? Made him snap like that? What happened? The Lovers reversed. So the Lovers doesn't always have to be lovers as in relationship. It is a union of two people. It is a relationship or a bond between two people. All right. So in this case, I don't know. Was there another relationship? Was there a different kind of relationship? Is there something else at this point in the story? Is Luke telling us something, or is it just a friendship that went sour? Because this is coming out in reverse. So this is something that was fine at one point. Look at these two cards here. We've got two cards with two people in them, the Lovers and the Sun. Usually the Sun only has one, but we've got two this time. This is them. Like, this is them and their relationship and their friendship. Like, they were together at one point. This was, and I don't mean, like I said, together, which very well could have been, but I don't think so. But this was a friendship that, for whatever reason, turned sour that night. And I want to know, what was that reason? What turned that relationship that way? What happened? What flipped everything upside down? Flipped everything upside down. And then we've got the Hangman. That Seven of Cups. That Five of Swords. We're getting all the same. He's repeating at this point, so I do feel like I feel like at this point we're kind of getting messages reiterated. So I do feel like it just did a random flip, right? The Hangman. I literally asked right before, what caused the flip? Something caused the flip. I think it could be various things that happened that night. Could be a variety of things, several things. Again, we've got another 7. So I feel like, in whatever this one is here, this one is standing out to me. I don't even think I've ever noticed that before. But we've got a hooded figure, right? His head is covered, and there's red. And sometimes when I look at red, I think of passion, fire, energy, sometimes anger. So there possibly are several things that contributed to what happened that night. This is a cups, okay? They were drinking. Is that part of it? Could the alcohol not blend with this guy? Could this guy have a different side when he drinks? Is he okay when he's sober, but when he gets drunk, he turns into some crazy animal? That could very well be it too. There could have been just way too many drinks that night. Way too many drinks, and what could have been a small argument normally turned into something really awful. But there's several, I think, things that are contributing to what happened that night that just ended up exploding it. And again, there's something about that number 7. But I do feel like this was a close friend. This was a friend that he had known for a while. That they remember that second card that came out when I first started this reading, that 3 of Swords, the betrayal, the heart. That right there, I guess I should have known that this was somebody that was close to him at one point, and it was somebody close to him. He cared about this person. They cared about each other at a certain point. But something happened that night. I think alcohol also played a role in that, and some other things as well. There was something going on with the exchange of money. And this person could be the type of person where he cannot drink. It just turns him into a different individual. Again, he's talking about, we've got B and J. We've got I feel like this just answered my question. We've got a Jekyll and Hyde here. We've got a Jekyll and Hyde, and that actually kind of explains the despair and the the Four of Swords and the Nine of Swords. That actually kind of explains, because I thought to myself, okay, this is a person who, it's either got to be karma is coming into his life, but I feel like a little bit of it is his own conscience. Like he is really struggling with this, I think, but he's still very manipulative. He's a liar. He can't be trusted. But he's a Jekyll and Hyde. He switches. He can turn it off and on. It's like I feel like at this point, Luke only knew this side. He only seen this side. Okay, but that side came out that night. And so this person is definitely, he has two personalities. This person has two personalities, and I feel like Luke was not aware of this one, but he discovered it that night, and it freaked him out because he tried to get away. Like he knew what was going on, so he tried to get away. And then we've got the transportation card, the Chariot. So that does kind of make me feel like potentially there could be I feel like they buried him. I feel like they covered him and wrapped him and took him someplace. I do feel like that is part of this card. I also feel like it's the whole case moving forward as well. Okay, so I do feel like this is indicating this is a balance card. We've got the black and white sphinxes, and so this represents balance and equality. So I feel like this is also saying that the case is moving forward. There is going to be some resolve. There's determination from a lot of folks that are involved in this case, and I think that Luke himself is doing everything that he can to communicate and get his signs and messages out, in particular to his dad. He has been trying. I'm not sure if his dad is, maybe his dad just isn't open to that. I don't know, but he's trying to get messages out. He's trying to give clues. He doesn't know exactly where he is. He kind of has a general idea, but maybe not pinpointed to the exact spot. But this case, I feel like, is going to be solved eventually, and it's going to, we've got the open curtains, not closed curtains, so I feel like it's going in the right direction, okay? But let me go ahead and, where is my other deck? I want to finish the reading with an oracle card. And let me grab my oracle card real quick. Okay. And I want to, let me grab another one I've never used. Something I've never used. Pure Magic Oracle. Let me just try this one here. I have so many Oracle cards that I hardly ever use. I don't really know this deck very well. But for some reason, for Luke's reading, he had me pull two new decks. I don't know why, but there's something about them. So, all right, a final message from Luke to us, to you, to his father, to everybody involved in this case. Final message from Luke. And it's going to be that one that flipped upside down. So we have 5 of Raphael. Everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness and search for the silver lining. So yes, that is very that's interesting for this reading. It's like, yes, there's regret. It wasn't supposed to happen, but it happened. There's a reason. There's a reason. We don't always see it, but there is a reason why it happened the way it happened. We just don't know that yet, but definitely release regret. So I feel like this is partly Luke himself saying about himself, releasing his own regret, and giving messages to, his loved ones. Does his father have regrets? Does his father sometimes say, God, if I had just done this, maybe this wouldn't happen, sort of thing? So I do think that that's a message from Luke to specifically his father. We do have another female here, so mother, maybe. But definitely he wants them to be happy. He's happy. There's happiness in this. It's literally, the word happiness is right here. Embrace the opportunities and happiness. So, he's happy. He wants everybody else to be happy. He realizes that's not easy to do, but that is his message. So now I've never used this deck before. I don't even know what these cards look like or what they say on them. But Luke wants me to pull one, so we're going to do it. So what do you want to say with this deck, Luke? I might even have to bring out my book because I'm not even sure about any of this with this deck. Pure Magic Oracle. Let's see here. Pure Magic Oracle. What's your message with this deck, Luke? What do you want to say? Final message from you to us. Final message. What do you want to tell us? What do you want to tell us? Ancient amulets. The 2. Fortune, protection, skills, possessions. We've got money, protection, skills, possessions. Fortune, protection, skills, possessions. Does somebody have a possession of his? Is there something that someone has that belongs to him? Let me see here. I've never used this deck. Jewelry. It's talking about jewelry, beads, amulets or power objects used to either draw specific good fortune, money, love, glory, or to serve as general protective device. Once you start carrying a power object for a specific intent, it becomes an amulet. Let me see. Once created, becomes an independent force. It radiates its own energy. Magic. Okay, so protection. We have blue eyes, beads, peacock feather, fan, magic hands, horned hand, hand of... Okay, horseshoe, romance, mistletoe, charms in the shape of doves or dragons, fertility, health, luck, four-leaf clover, wishbones. Interesting. So it's all about jewelry. It's all about jewelry here with this particular card. Is there a piece of evidence that this makes me almost feel like this is his message saying that this person, this perpetrator, has something of his. He has something of his. So he's saying to us that this man has something of his. So when that is found, they will know, okay, there's a connection there. So there's something. And I do think with this card, with the stars and everything around the hand and the hand itself, that this is going to come out eventually, that this person is going to be discovered. They're going to find this and they're going to know, and that's going to be enough to cinch it. So I think that there's something, I don't know if it's jewelry per se, but there's something of importance. Okay, an amulet, what I just read, is something obviously that holds power to that person. It's something that has their energy on it. It's something maybe that they was important to them. They wore often, carried often. There's something of his that's important like that has his energy, that this person still has to this day. So I'm going to leave it there, and I hope that this shed some light on the case. A horrible case. It's not exactly what I was hoping to read, the way it came out, but you know, that's what came out. And so I hope this helps, but let me know. I'm going to get this uploaded for you so you can watch it tonight, and I will talk to you later. All right, have a good one.